bit.
No, it should have been live. We're a couple minutes late.
We're late, but
Fix my hair right now. I don't have as much as I had, but I have as much as I can get. So I gotta love what I got.
There you go. Well, we're going to love everybody tonight. We're going to have a fun, it's celebration time here at the Closing Table Podcast. It's the big 3-year mark, 3-year anniversary of the Closing Table. So what better way to celebrate than to get visited by a bunch of our old guests? So we're going to be exchanging pleasantries all through the evening. We have a bunch of guests lined up. And this is all, remember, brought to you by the man next to me, Dan Peasy of NextHome Brandywine. He makes this happen every month. And we couldn't do this without the man below, Mr. Hub Rigel, coming live from Dallas, Texas. And he's got his brush. I'm sure there's a screwdriver or two floating around, but we're here to have a celebration.
Bay, thanks for putting it together because I know it's not easy. I know Jerm was supposed to join us at the onset here, but he had to work late, so he may pop in. So I think we'll cover some real estate until we have Mr. Dan Wolf, I think, is joining us from Wolf Superior Sandwiches.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you, the last several guests have really crushed it, pushing 1,000 views from Dan Wolf, from Kat and Sean from Roma Deli. And our last guest tonight is our all-time record in views, Delco Jesus.
I said to him, I said, you're the main event. You're going to trial out
He's
the rear.
He's Hulk Hogan coming out the Real American.
I figured he can give us a blessing, too.
Yeah. They love that guy. He's the best. So let's go over a little bit of real estate. Every year it's the same thing. Panic mode sets in because it's the winter up here. The weather was extremely rough. We've been in not out of the 20s until yesterday. So it's been very rough. And when it's weather's like that and it's early season, we are relatively slow. So we all of a sudden this week, as you see on my Facebook page and the NextHome Brandywine page, things have opened up. Bo DeForge, my longtime mortgage broker and friend, his sons are in the real estate business. They have joined the brokerage. Matt and Mason DeForge, 2 young fellows, Penn State grads, and they are going to be working with me on the real estate side. They run their own personal book of rentals, but they'll be joining us on the real estate. So they brought some stuff to the table. We'll have, and we do have now, some more opportunities for investors with rental listings and investor properties for sale coming up. We have 9 to 11 North Brandywine in Coatesville. That's available now. I have some stuff coming up, some good stuff too. We have a real nice house in Lansdowne Bay. If you saw that one, nice old school house up on Clearbrook, 3 blocks past the YMCA in Lansdowne.
I'll tell you what, I almost bought it might have been on that street years ago. I was looking at a house. Those houses over there are beautiful.
You take a look at it. It's so well laid out compared to today's houses. It's such a neat old house with a sun porch and a rear sun porch and just so many nice little quirks about it. It's on the market for $330,000. Huge 2-car garage in the back.
Bad.
Nice level lot. Not in this market. Let me tell you, $400,000 right now is mostly where everything's hanging in a single family. Nice, mature neighborhood there in Lansdowne. It's Upper Darby School District. It's Lansdowne zip code. Right there off of Lansdowne Avenue there, where the YMCA is. I have an over 55 up here where my in-laws live as well in Hillview, in Coatesville. So we have that listing. And I'm trying to think of our other listings here. We got another one that I can't think of. So check out nexthomebrandywine.com. You'll see all of our listings that are going on the market. And we'll see now, like we were saying, okay, we have inventory, but is it affordable enough for the buyer, right? So let's see if there's a gap there between the current pricing that's coming out of the gate this year and the demand's there, but is the affordability there for the buyer in my market segment that I mostly sell in, which is, first-time home buyer, working class, not the higher end marketplace. So let's see where that goes this year coming out of the gate. But we did get busier. I mean, we have a bunch of listings. In fact, Bo DeForge's Sons also just put on 199 Millbury, which is a really right up the road for me, a desirable development. So you see all these houses starting to pile on the market here as early spring comes in.
That's awesome.
Hub, I could tell Hub's.
Well, no, that's really good that there are a lot of houses going on the market. And people are going to cash in, hopefully.
Well, yeah, and the demand, the supply's getting there, right? Because the listings are piling on the market, and the demand is there. So let's see if we can marry that up and get some deals done. Let's see how far apart the listing prices are versus what the buyers, are already, want to spend. And we and go ahead, Ray.
I was saying we have our first guest is waiting.
Let's go.
But before we get to Dan, I'm gonna play a quick video first. We had I talked to Eric Jessberger of the Reading Royals, and they actually have a game tonight, so he could not be part of the festivities, but he did send the video in for us.
Look at this guy.
From the media room inside the friendly confines of Santander Arena, home of the Reading Royals, Eric Jessberger wishing a big congratulations and a happy 3-year anniversary to the Closing Table podcast. It's been a pleasure to hop on to the show twice. Always enjoy our conversations, and to all of you, the listeners, as well as the great hosts, a big thank you, congratulations. And with NextHome Brandywine, official sponsor with the Reading Royals broadcast, always appreciate the conversations with Dan and the support of all of you guys. Thank you, congratulations, and best wishes and success going forward.
What a class act that kid is.
So I'll be in the booth with him on Saturday night. I'll be color commentary on the Reading Royals game for the second period, and between the second and third, I will have a sit-down interview. Eric will be interviewing me about NextHome Brandywine. We'll do a 10-minute interview between periods. So Mixler streaming app, Flow Sports. I'll be on the air in the booth, color commentary on the broadcast next to Eric this Saturday night.
Are you nervous?
No, I can't wait. I want to do this my whole life.
If he's going to have his hand on the button
you know what? Here's the real thing. We'll bring on Dan Wolf. He's waiting. Real quick, here's my thoughts. Don't step on him and speak over him, right? Lend something that's meaningful to the broadcast, and don't curse. That's the 3 things I got to do.
That's it.
And I think my finger might be on the dump button myself, just in case.
Well, here's the guy, the man, the king of creativity, Delco true a legend in the modern day, Commissioner Sandwich himself, Dan Wolf of Wolf Superior Sandwiches.
Yeah, thanks so much, Dan, for taking a minute and jumping on here. I think when you joined us a few months back. I think that's when our numbers. You must have been the guy that broke the seal. That's when our numbers really started to pop. And you broke that seal. People loved it when you came on, and we appreciated your time that night. We appreciate you jumping on for a minute here for our 3-year anniversary show.
All right. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm having some technical difficulties here.
But
You're not busy or anything. You're not busy, Dan.
No, not at all. Not at all. Here, hold on. I'm going to need to sign off and sign back in. Can you give me a few?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, sorry. Give me 1 second.
That's fine. All part of a live show.
That's it.
His show, when we had him on, that's when our numbers really started to jump. He broke the seal on the numbers jumping.
Well, I think he told a lot of his customers too. You got to watch this interview with me.
And Hub, that's why we do it, right? Like I put it on there on Facebook to a co-branded thing to where they're helping us out to help expand my sphere, and then we help them out. And then when their customers join, it's just a big circle of, a professional relationship in a fun environment. Bag, when we talked about doing this 3 years ago, that's why we did it. Here he comes.
Commissioner, he's Commissioner. Right. Big Sandwich.
There we go. Before it would not allow me. Yes, I am. Yeah.
I think last time you were in a car also.
Yes. I'm always doing something.
That's very autobiographical.
That's right. Yeah, I just worked the first whole ass part of the day, then had a meeting about maybe potentially partnering up with a swim club in Ridley Park. And now shortly hereafter, I have another meeting about maybe a potential other title that may or may not be in my name currently, but I'm not announcing anything yet.
Wow. We did a swim club, Dan, 2 years ago. Kareem Horton and I helped him down in Yaden. We did the swim club. We partnered with their swim club. There is some challenges there, as you probably know. You're well learned in that. Yeah, there's some challenges when you do that.
Yeah, weather depending, a whole bunch of ins and outs. But you never know. It could be a fun time. But
Are you going to be catering for them?
Right now they're looking for somebody to take over running their food operation out of it. So we just had preliminary meeting, and feels like, hey, all right, it seems nice. Let's see what the paperwork entails and go from there.
Interesting. Would you bring the montage of sandwiches into something like that? Or would you simplify it?
I wouldn't probably go as deep like I do in the shops themselves, but probably couple of different things from my shop's menu, stuff that I know would move, things that are easy to produce, don't require a lot of work, but stuff that could sell.
So you're not going to have the Cajun gumbo?
No, that would not be there.
Hey, what's a new sandwich heading into the spring here? What do we got? Any ideas for something new when people want to stop in? What do we got heading into the spring?
Oh man, I'm always coming up with something new. Let's see, what the hell was I thinking about the other day? I don't know. I might do some gator again. That's always fun. I get whole alligators shipped up from Louisiana, break them down, smoke them, do it up.
Tastes like chicken.
If it's done right, it does not. Yeah, reptiles. It's different than chicken. It's anytime I've had gator that tasted like chicken, I was disappointed.
But I think it is a white meat though, isn't it?
Yeah. It is a white meat reptile. Yeah, they're delicious. Guys. Sorry I got cut off in the beginning. Yeah, like I said, I was in my car and I turned it off, and then the Bluetooth died, and so it was like, oh shit, gotta get back on. But congratulations, man! 3 years on the podcast, and somebody won an award.
Dan,
I actually
sales award.
Yeah,
my man,
$6 million.
my man.
When
dude,
you
that's
need help
awesome.
with the register, I'll be there.
There we go, brother. There we go.
My uncle used to say you can sell a paper bag. Yeah, and like you, see how much effort you're putting in? It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of thought process. Let me ask you this. I find at times I get tired. I'm tired of pedaling. It's a tough to be at the top of your game like you are, to be creative and constantly look at the competition like we have, trying to stay ahead of the curve. Do you ever feel that? Does that ever set in with you, or does your creativity kind of take over and you kind of forge past that?
It depends, because there will be times where I just get wild and eclectic and I go over the top with promotions, and then everything will be firing on all cylinders, and then I'll step back, and then when it starts to come back down again, then you're like, all right, got to go be the pitch man, got to go cut some promos, have some fun.
Right. And you wear different hats, right? So because there's different times where you have to assert yourself at different times within the business. Has the weather, because it's been really cold, has that kept people from coming out? Because it's been extra cold up here. I was telling the guys, of course, they're not in the state. But we've been in the morning. I asked Alexa, it's 14. It warms up to 24. Yep. Now, today's been a good day the last couple of days. But has the weather affected the people, the walking traffic?
Foot traffic for sure. Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to go outside when it's 7 degrees. I don't want to go outside when it's 7 degrees. I want to retire in Arizona.
I don't know how I walk the dog. I got to mentally get prepared to take the dog out when it's 12 degrees in the morning. So give us some, because to be at a high level like you are, and it's highly competitive, just like the real estate. Give us a tip on how you're staying ahead of the curve for people. I always think it's a new year for me. It's a new marketplace. we always talk about the word learning. We're trying to stay learning, stay ahead of the curve, and put people first, like the humans over houses thing.
Yeah.
In your line of business, how are you? I mean, your creativity, and like you said, you're getting into different things like the swim club to help build your brand as well. How are you staying ahead of the curve with it being so competitive?
Well, for me, it really, I try my best to be the most prolific shit talker I can be, because I mean, that's the best way to do it. Because if you're the loudest, but also like,
Did we just lose him?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
We hear you.
Oh, all right. Yeah, like
No, I'm not talking about me, him.
No, he's
Me?
good. He's all
we
good.
got him, huh? He's
I
good.
can't see him.
All right, we got him though. Go ahead, Dan.
All right, yeah, but I mean, it's like it's not so much about the volume, but it's your ability to connect with people. Like,
Okay.
I just had, it's you gotta follow what's going on. You gotta see where people are. As far as sales go, you kind of got to keep an eye on the economy, because I think you guys can understand we're in a time of not quite. What's the word I want to say? People are a little more hesitant these days. People are being a little more mindful of what could be coming down the road and all that. So it's, you gotta know where you're going, kind of with what you want to do. And you got to kind of keep an eye on what's going on around you.
Right.
When you see, you're saying?
We were just saying, I was just telling the guys that we'll see if the affordability factor's there for the buyers coming out of the gate, because the inventory is starting to come on the market. The buyer demand's there, but are we too far apart in price, interest rates, in order for the buyers to be able to afford it? And like you said, you try to stay ahead of it, but this is the litmus test for us. It's seen as the affordability there. And let's see what happens for the real estate market coming out of the gate this year. But some of the things you just said, that's why you stay ahead of the curve. Don't you constantly have to be looking at that, even with your prices and stuff, because I'm sure your costs are going up, and you're constantly mindful of that balance in margin and being able to still bring the people in the door to buy the product.
Yeah. That was like during COVID, during the lockdown, we were crushed from open to close all day long, just as busy as you could be. And the thing was that, a lot of places were raising prices because obviously we were dealing with, on my, the food end, a lot of price hikes and things like that. But at that time, I decided it was like, I'm not going to raise prices. I'm going to keep everything where it is right now. I'm not going to take advantage of people. Everybody's getting, all that crazy, unemployment that everybody was getting. It's like, all right, I'm not going to take advantage of the system. But once this shit's over, prices are going up. And that was what I did. And it worked out well for me. So, sometimes you got to understand that a higher volume on a lesser profit. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And
right,
I kind of.
You did that, they were more loyal to you all the way through the process.
Yeah, because I had an increase in volume, but a setback in profit. So it basically evened out. It's like when you're making it up on the back end with the volume, you can afford to take a little bit of a cut in profit.
Well, Dan and myself have talked, and we touched on it last time Dan was on here, about making a chubby Dudley sandwich. And
I'm still down.
An idea popped in my head the other day. I said to myself, when I would go to the ring, a lot of times I would bring Captain Crunch with me.
Yep.
Why not do a Captain Crunch Nashville hot chicken sandwich? Something like that. Has that ever been done?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I did. Yeah, so I've done 2 Captain Crunch ones.
Okay.
One was a Jamaican jerk Captain Crunch chicken cutlet.
Okay.
The other one was a honey sriracha Captain Crunch chicken cutlet with mango salsa, a bunch of other stuff. So, I mean, oh, yeah, I can do that. That's not a problem at all.
When Dan puts it on the menu, I'm going to go there live. We're going to Facebook Live the unveiling of the Chubby Dudley ECW original sandwich.
There we go.
Hey, I'll be there in May, so.
That's right around the corner, brother, man. Let's keep in touch.
Absolutely. Come on. Let's come on.
Yeah. I'm down.
So you having any time to do your music too?
I mean, I tinker around on my guitars and pianos at night when the kids are asleep. I'm up till about 4:00 in the morning every day, and then my little one, my 3-year-old, wakes me up at about 8. So it's like, and then I'll just grab her and be like, no, you're gonna snuggle with daddy, and we go back to sleep for like a half hour. But it's I run on no sleep and trying to do 1,000,001 things every day.
That's why you're successful.
Get sleep, dude. It's going to catch up to you.
I mean, I'm still young, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. You're still young. You might wake up tomorrow and have all this gray hair. Believe me.
Look, hey, man, I have my fair share.
You're getting there.
Yeah. That's why I grow my hair long so that it hides the gray.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Dan, thanks for coming on, Dan. You didn't have to do it again. We're so much appreciative of you stopping on for a few minutes tonight, and everybody knows you got the best sandwiches and most creative down there, Wolf Superior Sandwiches, and we thank you. Ben, you want to talk to him a second?
Two locations. Don't forget Wolf Superior Sandwiches. He's in Aston and Havertown, possibly coming to a swim club near you. And I know my man has some things cooking in the fire, so stay tuned for announcements.
That is right.
Thanks,
right.
Dan.
And not a problem. Call me anytime. Always happy to pop on and talk with you.
You got it. Dan, thank
Take
you.
it easy. Thank you. Congratulations again, boys.
Thank you.
All right. See you.
See ya. All right.
Hey, Ben, can you raise your volume a little bit?
Oh, let me see.
And I think that Dan was the one where we sort of found a really good way to have like a virtual diner that we could get to know people. Is that right?
Absolutely. And he's I love the way he talks. He's blunt. He's Delco. He's a really smart guy. And in order to be successful in that business, I mean, you got to grind him. It's like real estate. You got to grind. He's awesome. What we got,
He's
Ben?
got 2 locations.
Yeah. What's my volume low?
Yeah, you're better now to me.
All right, cool. All right.
Is my volume okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Here he is.
Hey, what's up, guys?
The movie producer himself.
Happy
the
third
man behind Delco,
guys.
the movie. Chris, thank you so much for doing this. So, Chris, let me introduce you, man. Come on.
Yeah,
Chris Pierre Domenico, the producer, writer, director of Delco the movie. They just had their big red carpet event last month. He's back to celebrate with us.
Thank you for having me.
He's a superstar. It's like having Hulk Hogan on the show over here. We got a big time superstar.
I don't know if I can compete with that, but I appreciate it.
Now that it's over and you got a chance to reflect, to me, from what I saw, it seemed like it ran over really, really well. How was the media event, votes in location and overall of the rollout of the movie? Your thoughts on that now that you got a minute to think about it?
Yeah, I mean, that was an insane weekend. Opening night, we had people down around the block waiting to get in. The street shut down. I didn't request that. It just happened.
Wow.
So,
that's awesome.
We had just awesome red carpet stuff going on. People were just having a great time. And then after that, I mean, Friday night was our big event, our big red carpet. And it was mainly it was invite only. So it was mainly guests and, cast and crew and our sponsors and everything. So, we expected it would be a positive reception. Our first real test was Saturday afternoon because that was the first time that we were going to have, people that, just general public, coming in and seeing it for the first time. And so we did 5 screenings. They were almost all sold out, with the exception of, I think Sunday night there was a snowstorm, but we still had like 100 people come out that night. And yeah, just it's really the part that was most nerve-wracking for me, I think, was just seeing it for the first time with an audience, and kind of being in there and just like, hoping, I hope they laugh at that. I hope this resonates, and all that. But, overall, I felt like it was very well received. I couldn't be more grateful for the community support. And just, and you have them on tonight. You have one of my sponsors on tonight.
They talked and left. Kat and Sean, they're great people.
They are. Yeah. Kat and Sean are awesome. They've been so kind to us, and it was just awesome to partner with them, for this. I mean, really, this was built on the on the back of Delco. Delco really took a chance on me, and I just am incredibly grateful for that.
Let me ask you real quick: did you find yourself that opening night a bit of people watching to see what I always love people watching to see what the reactions were from the audience and people's faces, some of their mannerisms and the reaction? That, to me, that's always fun. You put all that effort into it, and now you want to see if they see what you saw and felt as you produced it and wrote it and saw it on the screen for the first time with an audience there.
Well, I wasn't so much looking at people's faces, but I was listening. I paid attention to the crowd the entire weekend. Like, I was so, I'd be outside the doors of the theater, and I'm like, are they laughing? I can't tell. I was very interested in that. And it was really interesting because, jokes that to me, I didn't think were that funny sometimes got huge laughs. And I thought, okay, all right, interesting. I didn't think that was going to be a big laugh. And then on the other hand, there were a couple of jokes that to me, I thought were really, really funny, but just kind of, bombed. So it just was very interesting, kind of going in there and like, all right, maybe with the next edit I do, maybe I'll kind of tweak a little bit here and there. But it was overall a very positive experience. I think one of my favorite things that came out of it was I got to be a guest on the Preston and Steve show, which is
cool.
That's like bucket list for me. And so that was just really, really radically cool.
And I watched that too. They were amazing. I had never heard of them before, and I could tell immediately they were super, super high professional, world class morning show.
Yeah,
and I asked Bay about it. And Bay said, yeah, they were the number one show there in Philly.
Yeah, they, I listened to them in high school. I mean, they were on the school bus, the radio, the school bus going in. So I've been listening to these guys, since I was a teen. And so it was very surreal being there as a guest. So I'm grateful to those guys. And everyone's just been very nice. It's been very, very cool. I think since then I've kind of had time to get back to my regular life and kind of doing all the things I've been neglecting and, paying attention to my family again. So, that's nice. And just starting to kind of plan out what's the next step as far as, we want to get this on streaming, hopefully do a couple more screenings, maybe do a physical release, maybe Delco the DVD, Delco the Blu-ray, something like that. And then we'll see what happens next.
You got to go VHS.
We're all going to talk about once. That's how popular you are.
Go ahead, Dan.
No, go ahead. Bay, go ahead.
I just said you got to have it's Delco. You got to have a VHS version.
Yeah, I talked about that. I said, if nothing else, I'll just print a bunch of stuff on VHS and hand it out of my trunk, under the 420 bridge or something. So, yeah.
I love the theater aspect. I like that because media theaters, from a real estate perspective, such a beautiful place. And to marry that and have that event, another theater type rollout would be neat. I don't know if Lansdowne or any one of them, something like a neat old Delco vintage. That would be cool for another screening because I think it's got so much more hype after the original screening. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah, just with all the sellouts, there were people and the weather, people missed it. There were some people that were, messaging me like the day after, like, oh my gosh, I missed this. How do I see this? So
Yes.
we definitely want to do, you know, 1 or 2 more local screenings. You know, I can't say anything yet, but it definitely is in the plans. And then we're currently talking to distribution companies about, you know, possibly getting it on Amazon, you know, that type of thing. So we, you know, all in all, we want everybody to see it.
Cool.
Yes. And that's the end game, right? You want everybody to see it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So where's the best place for everybody to keep up to date on the news of where to see it?
So follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Just look up Delco the Movie. You'll find us on Facebook, Instagram. You can look me up on Facebook, Chris Pierdomenico. You know, just sound it out. You know, it'll probably autocorrect you, but you'll find me. And yeah, that's the best way to kind of find out about you know, when the movie's screening next, and you know, maybe what the next movie is. So, you know, at the end of this last movie, we teased a little bit about what might come next. So you know, if you don't know about it, you might have to go check it out. It was at the very end credits. So a lot of people had left. They didn't see what you know, what was coming.
He pulled a Marvel maneuver. Don't leave during the credits.
I did, yeah.
As an instructor, I know you encourage your students to write continuously, probably. And so are you continuing to write more things every day?
Yeah, I mean, I have outlined what the next film's going to be, so I haven't I'm constantly writing ideas. Yeah. Like I'm constantly writing. I'll think of something. I'll think of a concept. So I have a list of bullet points, like probably like 100 bullet points, you know, for the next one. And I'm taking a little break for right now, but certainly the idea is to get a draft done in the coming months and kind of go from there. To do this all over again. So
yeah.
Cool. Well,
That's
Chris,
awesome.
Thanks so much for being part of our Closing Table family. Congrats on the amazing red carpet premiere and the weekend. And I look forward to seeing the movie. Hopefully, for my situation, it'll be streaming, but you never know. Hopefully, we could see it in theaters again very soon as well.
Well, we will let you know.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, and happy 3rd anniversary, guys. Keep up the great work. It's an honor. You guys have a great rest of your night. You too. Thank you, Chris. Everybody, Delco the Movie. Look them up. Facebook.
Thanks.
And Instagram.
Thanks,
good seeing you.
Follow
Great seeing
and
you guys. Stay up to date. Take care, Chris.
You too.
That's a real success story there.
I love that guy. He's so busy. He you know, what's the theme of all the people we have on? The effort, the care, the time that they put in, and how they want to do it the right way. It's just every single person we have on, right? It's the same thing. You know, that's how you become successful.
And also the networking.
Right?
Well, speaking of hardworking, doing it the right way, let's bring on your photographer. Past guest, you believe him? Jody, the photographer. She's here. And look, let's say this. If it's not for Jody, NextHome Brandywine is not open 24/7. So
I'll take that compliment.
Well, she's the most important person in the company.
So I have a story. She didn't hear it yet. So we've had to go to Lansdowne, which is a pain in the ass at 5 o'clock at night. It's a nightmare down there. The traffic's crazy. So Jody went down to do the pictures for me. I went down to take the listing. I had to go back down last night to do to get up some paperwork and put the sign in the ground. So this is the difference that the professional photography makes. So the lady is very particular. She's Italian. She acts old school Italian. So I go down last night, and everybody's a brick. So guess what? So here it is, Joe. So I go down there last night. She's happy as a lark. She comes home from work. I had a couple pieces of paper to pick up from her. She says to me, she's not a touchy-feely type lady. She goes, I absolutely love Jody. She said not only her personality, but, you know, her ability to be creative when she was in the house and how great the pictures turned out. And she said her whole demeanor changed. She said it's so worth it paying for the photography and how much the photography meant to her and her listing They were so excited to see the house in pictures, right? She's been there 23 years. So she's like, oh, I hugged Jody when I left. So we talk about the little differences. Jody just saw a listing we put up that just had a picture up there. It wasn't professionally done. It makes a difference, and it makes a difference for my clients. If I can get them done, if we have the timing. And Jody's been so busy because out of the gate here, we've had a lot of listings. But if anybody's listening, you're a realtor, the pictures make a difference. The professional photography and the demeanor of the photographer. She actually uplifted my client by going in there and bringing her enthusiasm and personality. It actually was a plus for me, and my client actually made my client like a little more affable in the transaction. So there you go. So our Lansdowne client was thrilled with the pictures.
Well, that's awesome, Dan. She was awesome. Marie was such a nice lady, and we got it done. And thanks for having me there. And it was good.
How is the traffic going? How is the traffic going there? It's a quite an ordeal.
There, I was cursing you out a little bit, but only for you, Dan, at 5:30 on rush hour traffic to go to Delco. No worries.
That's right.
You know what I had last night? Oh man, it takes you home the way we have to go. It took me Westchester Pike to the Blue Route, out the Blue Route to 76, up 76. And I couldn't even get on 76 from the Blue Route last night. We were backed up around the that bend for about 30 minutes.
Oh, it is brutal.
Insane traffic in Lansdowne.
It could be 38 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Commute.
Yeah, it's crazy. Tell us what you're seeing from the photography side, because Jody's the first one that gets the call for the pictures when people are getting new listings. What are you seeing out of the gate? We talk a little bit here and there. You've been super busy. What are you seeing now as far as the amount of listings that are coming on? And she goes everywhere like me.
Yeah. On Monday I was down in Lansdowne. Yesterday I was at a listing that was near Cabela's in the mountains area. Oh, wow. So it's been very busy. I mean, I have calls for next week's bookings. I mean, I've been consistently working since December, and usually it's our slow time, December through, March, or March it starts picking up, but I really did not slow down, but I'm noticing I'm really getting more calls right now. So it seems like it's a hot market and it keeps going. Today, I was at a commercial property doing photos. And then I have another property tomorrow, 2 of them, and 1 including Dan's. I'm going to get there.
We had a trouble with the locks on that. It's always something. Tell us the type of houses. Are you seeing a diversity in the type of houses you're shooting?
I would say,
as far as styles, locations, all that stuff.
Absolutely. Like I'm getting townhouses, single family homes, commercial. I'm getting more commercial properties that I'm photographing. And I didn't always get that before, but it seems like it's getting more popular for more nicer photographs and an investment in their business and, social media and their branding. So I'm very fortunate for that. And Dan has been such a great client and keeping me busy. And Dan, congratulations, 3-year anniversary, man. This is awesome.
3 years. Yes. It's she's been with us from the beginning. She did the initial photos for me. Jody's my cousin. I think we know that, full disclosure, but she did the initial photos for me when we opened our office at 10 Wallace Avenue in 2018. So it's been 7 years. It'll be 7 years, 6.5 years. It'll be 7 years. I think at the end of August, beginning of September, that we've officially been open.
But I've been taking his pictures since he's been a baby, so no problem.
Oh yeah, I got the pictures on the wall right here. One of some of the best pictures of when the kids were little. Joe and awesome. And Danny. She mostly does right now, mostly real estate photography. Anybody have any other questions for Jody? I want to let Jody give a pop here and give her information out. What do you got, babe?
Well, she does have. Also, we talked about how you're able to digitally add things into rooms and that kind of thing.
Yeah, the digital staging, I must say, within the last year has taken off so much. And, as another thing changes, interior designers are getting taken out of the equation, which stinks. But now I'm doing more digital staging, and the technology and the AI is just pretty insane. It's so easy.
Oh, so, that's a good question right there. So we're seeing this whole AI explosion, especially in the
It
last
is.
year.
It's crazy.
So it's going into this market as well then.
Oh yeah. It would take me hours to put like a room together. I did one for Dan, a few of them, but like they start from the floor to the wall, the pictures on the wall, like a television, even books on a table. And literally for $40, they will create the whole scene and you get it within 12 hours. And sometimes you can get it like under like 4 hours. So it's pretty amazing. I mean, it would take me hours, and to have a catalog that they have, it's pretty amazing.
Jody, remember that house that had very weird angles that we staged a few rooms because people were having trouble visualizing the furniture placed in the property?
Absolutely.
So that's the difference, right? So remember that one? Like it was so weird. It was like triangle angles. It was so Jody was able to visualize the room from a creative perspective, place furniture in there so people would have an idea on maybe how to place the furniture in a weirdly laid out room.
Yeah, it turned out great too, Dan. Did you get a lot more feedback from that? Didn't it sell after that right away?
You know what it is? It's all positive, but real estate people are cheap and they don't want to spend the money. But right, so is it the truth? Like they take the crappiest pictures. I almost used a bad word there, but
Dan, that was bad. What I just posted to you, I was like,
I took that picture. You don't like that? That's a quality picture.
Did you take those inside photos?
With some of them, not all of them.
Hey, you got to talk to him.
You know what we have to do with that one? We have to get the tenant to let us in on the other side so we could shoot both sides.
Well, you better be calling me. That was bad.
Yeah. We're running into some access issues with that property. But
hey,
the photos make a difference. And that's
so hot right now. Some of my clients are... I said the market's still so hot. Some of my clients are taking quick photos because they already have buyers, so they don't want to spend the money. I mean, we're still in that market, Dan.
Well, we are. Right? I'm in the same boat with someone where we already have a buyer. We just have to shoot a few pictures just to get them up, just to say we have a couple pictures up there because we already have people lined up. And it's the affordability factor. But nothing beats quality photography. Jody, give them your information. Tell them where they can find you. She's been doing this for years. And I tell all my clients, she's not just coming over to shoot your house like this is what she does for a living. She's a professional photographer, and her expertise at this point is shooting a real estate photography. So, and she knows how to take the angles, and it makes a huge difference. Like the story I told at Lansdowne, true story. So tell everybody where they can find you. My mother, look at my mother. My mother commented.
You can find me on my website, Photo Designs by Jody, and it's JODY.com. Photo Designs by Jody.com. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, Photo Designs by Jody. And I also work with a lot of businesses that need photos for, their new upkeep and also for digital marketing. I work with a lot of businesses, and I also do real estate. So if you're looking for any of that type of work, or please keep me in mind. My number also, in case you want to call me, is 610-202-1328. And it was awesome working with and seeing you guys again.
Thank you. Love you. Appreciate
Great
you.
Seeing you.
All right. Bye. Bye.
Take care, Jody.
Bye.
She works. She's another one. She works her ass off. She's like me. She's driving 200 miles a day, here, there, and everywhere. It's a lot.
She's also got multifaceted skills.
Yeah, she's very good. Her angles, her personality makes a difference when you're going to someone's house. Because a lot of people have a lot of anxiety when they're selling a house. Her ability to go in and just be herself and break the ice is a big plus. Like my client, she was like old school Italian, hard nosed. Once Jody went over there, she softened up and happy as a lark, and likes the quality of the work, and that's the difference.
Well, next guest is ready. Let's welcome to the show my brother from another mother.
Here he is.
From Dancing on Air fame, Upper Darby legend, Delco driven himself, Mr. Chris Kelly. What's going on?
Here he is.
What's up, my brothers? How are you?
Thanks for coming. Here's another superstar that took time out to join us tonight. We appreciate you coming on a few minutes. Thank you very much for joining us.
Very happy. I'm privileged. Congratulations on your 3-year anniversary. And congratulations on your recent home award, Seller Award.
Thank you.
2024.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate
You're
that.
awesome. Bay, Bay and I have been brothers for a long time, but Hubs, it's been a year since I was on your show.
It was just like yesterday or today or 2 days ago, like the 1 year anniversary.
1 year anniversary. Yeah.
I should take it and post it somewhere because I thought it was a great day. It was a good conversation that day.
And all I do is Upper Darby now constantly since you've been on the show. I
watch this stuff all the time, man. And Hub, I love your messages too as well.
Cool. Yeah, every once in a while I send you a link if I find something that I think you'd be interested in.
I love it. Dan, what are we saying? Upper Darby? You're always at Upper Darby now?
Yeah, well, a lot of work. You got to see the one we just put up. A beautiful old, kind of like a Dutch colonial style on Clearbrook, right by the YMCA down there.
Okay.
So yeah, they're doing a lot. I don't know if you've been passing there. Prendy, the old Prendy building's now going to be Delaware County Community. It's completely under construction.
Yeah.
I mean, what I noticed too? Upper Darby put a brand new field in. That's gorgeous up there at the top of the hill past the Perkins.
Oh, that I didn't see.
You should see it. It's really nice up there.
Yeah. Is it weird though? Because you and I are Bonner guys. When you go through Prendy, what they've done with it's just weird. Like remember hanging out front there before you got down to Bonner, that one section.
So is the building there? Did they knock Prendy down, or are they just redoing?
They're expanding. I took pictures as I'm driving by to send them to my mother and sister out the window. I'm clicking the camera because so much has changed around there. So Prendy is being totally revamped for Delaware County Community College, and they tore down where the gymnasium was, where the theater, when you first came into the lot on the left, they tore that off of the building. That was an addition over time. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there might be an elevator going in and some, I don't think it's parking. My mom said they put in the garage. I don't think so. I think it's going to be more of a common area, stairwells, elevators, and stuff like that. That's a bunch of construction going on. But the building and stuff looks like it was completely pressure washed, and it looks like it's been just revived. It's a gorgeous building, as we know. I mean, and Delaware County's going in there, and it feels like the area is getting a little bit of juice again. I mean, it's getting cleaned up. Upper Darby's got a new field. Perkins is still popping up there at the top of the hill. The house values are up. I've listed that house for $330,000. I don't know if you go. I hadn't been down that far in a while, you know, and lately I've had a couple, and I'm surprised. The old Pearl Gardens is still there, all in pink on Lansdowne Avenue, the old Japanese place. So it looks nice, they're building. So things have, to me, lightened up a little bit over there.
Yeah, no, it's nostalgic too for us to go through there every now and then. I don't go there that often. I don't get a lot of chances. Last time I drove through it thoroughly was about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and I just had my camera at the window. So I haven't posted it yet, but I'm going to. But it was neat going through all the old stomping grounds, but also they're at the ending stages of taking down Sears Gimbals, that old building.
Yeah.
And I want to see what it looks like now. It was so sad, like a bomb hit it when I went through. So I will post that soon, and I'll make sure you guys see it.
What are they putting in there? Like, are they doing like a Walmart in there or something? I heard.
I don't know.
That's one of the only shopping districts on that side still, because when you get in the, like where your old studio was that like in the 50s, 100 blocks back then? Where was your original? Where was that? What was that? Was that? Yeah. What was that?
No, we on Winthrop Avenue. We were in Chelsea.
What was down there? What was down there? Like Dick Clark's thing or something was on the 55th 100 block. What is that old place that was there?
The Old American Bandstand building.
Yes. So there's no shopping in that area. So all those folks that live down there come up to 69th Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about Delco Memorial Hospital? What's going in there? Anything?
Did you hear? Am I wrong, or did the school buy that?
I saw the news yesterday. The headline. I just saw the headline. It said Upper Darby School District possibly buying Delaware County Memorial Hospital.
Now that's a sad point over there, because there's a sign right at the foot. I saw it last night, actually, right at the foot of the old ER, which I've been to a million times over there. Mm-hmm. I was born there. My dad was in there a ton, and it says, emergency closed. And it's almost like it's hand spray painted. This huge sign sitting there. So, they really need that hospital, but because of the financial situation, it's the same way out here. That hospital's needed. I mean, but I heard Delaware County was going to buy it. Then I think when they got the Prendy opportunity, they got, because much bigger space, they moved into there. So it's going to be interesting to see if the high school, because the high school's running out of room as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's like overcrowded. People hanging out the windows there. It's so busy. It's so full. So they could probably use that extra space too. But it is sad. Like there's no hospital in that area for anybody. What is it? What is there? There's Bryn Mawr and Paoli, the closest hospitals. I don't know what else is nearby, but I remember my grandfather rushing me down. I was been like 5 or 6. I was playing with Marty Leaf. We were in the backyard and we were climbing a fence, and I fell off, cracked my head up, and had to get my stitches done there. But it's like so many memories if you grew up in that area, going to that hospital when you got hurt.
Yeah, everybody, right? How many times? Everybody, like you, I'm going by last night, and my hand's out the window with the camera clicking all the way up because. Yeah. And I said to my mother, "You're happy or sad? Like there's so many memories of being around that area."
Yeah,
I worked in 69th Street at the Sneaker Express on the weekends for years. So we used to walk up there to that old Sears building and all. Yeah, so it's same for you guys. It's fun memories when you go down there.
Yeah, my very first job, just because you said that, was at the Smalls Formalwear at the corner, crossing the terminal. Renton, Texas. Yeah.
Is it me, or is like when I was there back in August, I went through, everything looks smaller.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Or it looked bigger is what it should. It should look bigger when we were smaller, right? So
yeah.
Well, like those fields in the front of Bonner, they weren't developed. That was just a hill and grass, and we used to do field day on there. Now they're all developed for soccer fields and stuff. So the aesthetics there has changed, and some of it is really for the better. There is a feel of a turnaround in that area. It really is. I mean, and it's a very good location down there if you got to get to the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, our hearts are there, right? We were there when we were so much younger, and I want to see it bounce back. It really should. It's a great place. You just make me think of the fields too. And when you and I were attending there, remember the little corner of the yard at lunchtime, they're saying that it was like a dilapidated basketball court, and you would play like hacky sack or kick the hockey with the tin can puck. All gone. You're right. It's all right now. Yeah.
That can. That we used to crush a can and play with kick the can up and down the court. Yeah. My son, tell my son that. I'm gonna. They have no idea. Now they have $1,200 iPhones, and we used to play with a crushed can.
Who would have known that?
We used to play.
This is more than our tuition was back then.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, in St. Alice, Chris, we didn't even get a crushed can. We had to wait for the chestnuts to fall off the tree to use for box hockey.
Right.
Now we go. You go over to like St. Philip and James have like 6 basketball courts at the thing. I'm like, we went to St. George's. We didn't have anything. We were in the parking lot at lunchtime, and they would say, "Don't go near the cars." I mean, we had nothing. They don't get it. They don't get it. And the cost of everything, it was totally different. We entertained ourselves maybe positive or negatively back then. But I remember I know he's got to go. We got to have you back on. But I remember the driver.
No, I don't want to go. But go ahead, finish what?
Bay's got every 10 minutes. He's got 10 guests. Bay did the great job lining everybody up. But I remember the driver's license picture place where the guy used to say, "Smile if you like." The disabled guy would take a picture and say, "Smile if you like." Yep. Jody, my cousin that was just on, she went down to take the pictures and she got lost. I said, "I told you 3 blocks past the Y. She went to Upper Darby." I said, "How the hell did you get lost? 3 blocks past the Y. It's right there. The Y's only been there for 90 years."
One of my landmark memories in front of that Y, way back in the 70s. Remember, there used to be like a big anchor outside from a huge ship.
Yeah,
big anchor was like just playing it out.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was grabbing.
Bay, line them up for another show. Listen, for you to jump on, it means a lot. Next to Chris from Delco the movie, you're the second biggest star we had tonight on the show.
I know I should have called it. I told Bay about him originally, and I was like, I thought about reaching out to see if I could have had something to do with it, but I want to do one as well. I want to do one on the 80s era. So that's what I've been working on for a long time.
He's doing another one.
I'll have to connect with him. But yeah, definitely have me on there with you guys, though. My brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us, Chris.
Love you, Chris. I'll talk to you soon, bro.
See ya.
Later. Chris Kelly. I love that dude. Truly a brother.
I love that guy.
It's wow, we have so much history, me and him. All right, here they are.
Yeah, they're the best.
More big stars.
Here they are.
From Roma Deli.
My shoe. We're at home. It's my day off. We're at home.
How do you get a day off?
Yeah, right. It's never a day off.
What's up,
Sipping
Sean?
my Golden Girls ginger ale.
You want to know what else? There's not just ginger ale in there.
No,
right?
there is just ginger ale in there.
No, there's ice too.
Oh, there's ice.
Thank you for taking
I
the
spiked
time.
it for later.
Appreciate you coming on and taking the time to join us. You had the third most views in the Closing Table podcast history.
Awesome.
Yeah, we were pushing 1,000 views, believe it or not.
Wow. Love it.
So, and I still have to get down there. I'm getting down there. We've been so darn busy. I'm like, I got to get down there. Chris actually mentioned you. I don't know if you got a chance to hear him. He appreciated everything you did for Delco, the movie, as well. He did. He was on just a few minutes back, and he did really appreciate everything you did for
I didn't hear him, but I'm going to rewatch the podcast, so.
He mentioned you. He said they'll be coming on, and he really appreciated all the love and support, and everything you guys did for for Delco the movie.
Oh, well, we love that. I did catch he was the most second famous person you had on, but I was featured in the credits of Delco the movie.
There you go.
She got screen time.
I got screen time.
So wait, how did you guys survive the Super Bowl? Because I think, Kat, you were telling me before they were going in, you said if they win, we have this pending order. And I was nervous when you told me.
Well, they ended up with everything that's going on with American Airlines and all of the things that we're all aware of. They actually. Sorry, we have a puppy. We got a puppy. I don't know what we were thinking, being full-time, employers and getting a second dog. I guess we're glutton for punishment here. Because of, recent events with airplanes and stuff, and they actually had a tragic loss with one of their employees.
Oh, jeez.
So God bless them and their family, and they're in our thoughts and prayers for that.
The plane crash, everything else going on. They were like, "Yeah, we're downsizing this year," so they only did 400 hoagies, which I'm grateful to have any order.
Sure.
Yeah, any order keeps us in business, right?
Whether it's one hoagie or 10,000 hoagies.
Exactly.
But we ended up getting through it like Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, like we always do. You always have that customer that's that rude customer. Hey, my order's paid for. It's right there. Can I go grab it? No, sir. There's 4 other people ahead of you in line. If you kindly wait, we will be right with you. And we were frazzled at that point because everybody was coming in at the same time to pick up their orders because we closed at 4 o'clock so our staff could go enjoy the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah,
sure.
So, my father-in-law run the back room, which is where you pick up all the orders. What's in that cup, Bae?
Believe it or not, the sweet tea and ice.
So, people were coming in to pick up their orders and they weren't in the back room yet. So I had said to the gentleman, I said, we have a system going on. Please bear with us. My father-in-law was looking for the order, couldn't find it. He got a little frazzled. The guy was like, I thought you said you had a system. And I'm like, there's always got to be that one.
There's the one.
But there were several that day.
Yeah, well, when the order is scheduled for 3:30 and you come in at 3 o'clock for an order, I'm sorry, but we're busy. We're still working on it. I'll have it done in 5 minutes for you.
We had people working from 1 a.m. Like people went in at 1 a.m. to run the show. Yeah. So it was, but I mean, it played out well. And then we ended up giving the staff off. We had dinner reservations for Valentine's Day, and we canceled our reservations for the third time to let our staff go down to the parade. And Sean and I and a few other employees that didn't want to go to the parade ran the show.
The joy of owning a business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all right, though. It'll all pay off in the end.
What's new post Super Bowl? Has the business been consistent? I know people got a little Super Bowl hangover, and the weather's warming up too because it's been awfully cold.
Yeah, it has. It has been really cold. It's actually set back our kitchen renovations, but it's starting to get warmer. So as soon as it's between 45 and 75 degrees every day, we can get our floor down.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Any new sandwich specials cooking up, or any little surprises, or?
Well, we're celebrating 6 years in March, so we're gonna do something for the day that he purchased the business. We
don't know if we told you we were starting to, mess around with homemade corned beef brisket.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You did.
So we put that on pause just because of all the chaos going on. So now we're strictly only homemade corned beef brisket. We no longer get the Dietz and Watson corned beef.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's definitely a higher end product than Dietz and Watson. And Dietz and Watson's got good product, but homemade kind of trumps everything.
So that's on the menu currently.
Yes.
Oh boy, yeah. My ass got to get down there.
Yeah, you got to get down there. What are you doing?
Listen,
I'm trying to live through you.
I'm telling you, you know how many times I said I was stopping, and then like them, I got diverted. This happened, that happened. Who called? The sign fell out of the ground, and I'm saying, oh, man, I got to get down there.
Right in the beginning, what? In the beginning of the new year?
What?
For the hot water heater?
Yeah, I guess. Something like that.
Our hot water heater went.
Oh boy!
A flood in our basement. Flood in the basement.
At our house.
At our house.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Life
we
happens.
don't have a basement for deli. We just tell the new staff to go find the basement.
or
it's like finding the pool on the third floor.
Or we tell them to go get the Famunda cheese.
Oh boy!
How's it been with staff and everything's good? People are good.
Yeah.
Gee,
everything's
that's
good.
All you.
Everything's
that's awesome. Well, I am getting down there. I'm going away on my conferences coming week. I'm getting down there. We're going to do a Facebook Live when I'm there. For you guys to take the time, you're just telling us your setbacks, how busy you were, and you took the time to join. And we talk about how hard everybody works in their small business to be successful and keep it running. I can't thank you enough for jumping on. And you know how many people pinged me and said, boy, they were a lot of fun, when they were on the podcast. We do really appreciate it.
Oh, well, we'd love to come on again anytime. My husband always says I could write a bestseller with running a small business.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to do all small businesses Bay one time and have a round table of all the shit we got to go through running a small business.
Super Bowl was everybody decided to come in the day before because of the quote unquote snowstorm that never ended up coming.
So we ended
up sold out of rolls so fast Saturday, and then Sunday I'm like, okay, we were so busy, we got to order so much more, and I got stuck with a ton of rolls, which it's not that bad. It goes to a food bank and whatnot, but
the food bank was definitely overloaded with some rolls that we
Yep.
Definitely overloaded.
Well, listen, we appreciate you coming on, and we're going to get you back on the podcast in the coming months. Thanks again, and we do appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having us again.
Thank you, guys.
McDade
Boulevard.
The best.
Thank
Good
you.
seeing you.
And Holmes.
Delco.
Yeah, because there's one. Oh my God! Real quick, there was one. And
there's one in Philly. There's one in California.
Yes.
Yeah, and somebody left a really bad comment on Google.
On yours?
On a Google review, and no, not a Google review, on our page.
Google review.
No, I think it was on our page because I went through the whole process, stalking him and all the things. And then I went back in. I'm like, sir, I think you're at the wrong location because we're located in Pennsylvania, not in Texas.
Well, there you go. It was probably
California, wherever.
Oh,
well, Delaware County's where they're at. Holmes, Pennsylvania, McDade Boulevard. You can't miss it. Right by the old bowling alley I always went to back in the day. And I know we're gonna have them back on and chew the fat again in the next couple of months. Thanks again for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Roma Deli on McDade Boulevard, the only Roma Deli that matters.
I think we got insurance Dave Tomlin here.
We do.
There he is. What's
there
up,
he
Dave?
is.
How you doing?
There's 3 years, gentlemen. Congratulations.
Thank you. Can you believe it?
He's looking good, Dave. He must be busy.
Not as busy as I want to be, but when are we ever, right?
Well, I got to say, thanks to Dave, after our last interview with Dave a few months back, I went ahead, thanks to Dave hooking me up with a local.
I lost you for a second.
In Nashville. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Dan will catch up to us. But thanks to Dave.
I'm back.
Dave hooked me up with a Nashville Goosehead agent. Saved me $150 a month on my car insurance. Boom.
That's what we do.
That's what they do.
So Dave, I'm sitting in the office with my friend Chip, and he's bitching about his insurance. And he says, I think my homeowner's insurance is too high. And I said, listen, take 5 minutes, call Dave Tomlin. The guy's not going to hard sell you. He's going to see if he can help you. He is going to give you real information, give you a little bit of an education, and see where the numbers lie. Tell him what happened, Dave. You're able to save him quite a bit of money on that homeowner's policy?
Quite a bit. And his home we saved him a bunch of money on. Auto was the same, but we greatly increased his coverage. So, another win in the win column, another check.
Over $100 a month on the homeowners. Now, it's not always about price, right, Dave? He was very appreciative because we're salespeople too. So nobody wants to call another salesperson because they don't want to do salesy stuff. I said, listen, Dave Tomlin's not that guy. Call Dave Tomlin, and you're going to be glad you did. Even if he can't save you money, you're going to be glad to experience you had the conversation. You have a new real estate insurance contact, and it's good for everybody. So Chip and Dave just hooked up, and Dave was able to help Chip out, and that's what you can do as well. And everybody's always, when you come on, it's always very informative, on the podcast and the information you give to everybody.
Yeah, I love talking about it. I mean, I would have never thought, growing up when I wanted to be Batman or a police officer or a firefighter that I was going to be an insurance agent, but I love what I do. I love having these conversations every day, and I love, taking care of people. And on the other side of it too, having a client who just had a fire in their garage and they're now out of their home, but knowing that everything's going to be okay and that it's all going to get taken care of, and then they're going to get their garage put back together in a couple of weeks. And that's the really important thing that I do on top of what us just saving you money.
Right. It's a people business, right, Dave? It's about the people as much as it is about selling them insurance.
For sure. And it's just about having conversations and talking to everybody you can, and and then having somebody have a good experience and tell their friend, and then tell their friend and tell their friend. And you don't really have to work once you start having really great conversations and connecting with your clients.
Dave, have you seen a uptick in the activity as of late? What's the activity look like, from the conversations in the insurance sector?
It's starting to, we're getting into that time, because most of my referrals do come from, people like you, on the selling side and buying side of the home. So we're starting to see it tick up. I just think we've been on such a roller coaster in our respective industries, and I don't see that roller coaster ride ending anytime soon.
Right, I agree.
So you and I had the conversation. Right now, it's about at bats. You got to talk to as many people as you can, and maybe twice as many people as you talked to last year to get the same work. And if you're not willing to do that, find another industry.
Why we
But
have
that goes in
Dave? Go ahead,
cycles.
Hub.
But maybe next year you won't have to network as much to get as much business. So it just depends on
Oh
what
yeah.
the economy is.
Oh yeah, and I went to the industry event where they were talking about the forecast for 2025, and I don't know how you say it's anything other than a magic 8 ball that you're asking. It's not a crystal ball, it's a magic 8 ball. Like I don't know how anybody can look at the future and go, yes, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen with the housing market, with the uncertainty that's going on right now.
Hey Dave, I'm going to my conference next week. When you went? What was the tenor of the event? Was it what was the vibe there? Because I'm interested in seeing what it's like when I go next week.
They were optimistic, but I mean, I think that's kind of what you've got to be, right? If you're not optimistic in February, like it's going to be a rough year.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
This is the time of year where we put in the work, and we don't really see the fruit of our labor till May, June, July, August, and then and then the holidays kick in, then we do it all over again.
Yeah, right. He's right, and it's the grind, right? Right now, we just started for us. Like we were sowing the seeds, now it's starting to bear some fruit. And we were saying, if the affordability factor is there, we should see some of this translate into successful transactions. But it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Affordability is that key word there. One of my loan officers I work with, they do USDA loans all across the country. So being up here in Pennsylvania, they have no idea what it looks like. So they say, could you just give me kind of an average? So I went through all of the states and just kind of said, hey, this is what we've averaged for the last 90 days. And then the last year, so you can kind of see how every state has seen a significant increase, comparing the last 90 days to the last 12 months. And there isn't a single state that we have where insurance is under $100 a month. And there are a lot where the average is over $200 a month just for the home insurance. Not your mortgage, not anything else. Your taxes, just the home insurance.
Hey, Dave, we talked about this before, but I think it's important for people. Getting the homeowner's quote early, not late, because the numbers have went up. So we used to do it at the very end at the end of the transaction, before you took over the house. I would call somebody and get your homeowners. Yeah. But now it's very important to get those numbers up front, because it might affect your affordability factor, because the homeowner's insurance has gone up, and you really should get some information at the start of your search to get an idea what that homeowner's policy might be.
Yeah, and if have a conversation with somebody and say, hey, what's my average going to look like? Because it is amazing to me how many times I see, mortgage packages put together and they're like, 60, 70, $80 a month for home insurance, right?
$70.
Like, no, it's $150 a month. Probably is probably your safer number right now. And, and I've seen home insurance be the thing that just killed the deal. Like, whereas like, I cannot cut this premium anymore. And honestly, if we're talking about knocking 10 or 15 bucks off your home insurance so that you can quote unquote afford the house, can you really afford the house?
Right. And then, like, a lot of these loan officers are saying $70, and then at the 11th hour, they're coming to a guy like Dave and saying, what's the homeowners? Well, it's $1,800. Well, that's $900 more, and that's putting another, $70, $75 a month on the number. So it's very important. And one thing with Dave, he's not an overly salesy guy. He's a collaborative type guy. He's going to give you the information you need. He's going to educate you for a second if you don't use him now, because it might not match up. But I really think like Chip, and Chip's a city guy and he's a sales guy. He says, man, I like Dave, right? And that's the difference, because you gave him a good experience, both price-wise and information, got a little bit of a relationship. I told you, I wouldn't send you to the guy if he wasn't like what we believe in is how we do business, so go ahead, Hub, and then we're going to get our next guest.
And I remember too that you also broker auto insurance too.
Yep.
And that's a whole other thing too, that they're concerned about the prices and the sales of cars too.
Yeah, it's since my lead is usually home, that's the number that I kind of focus on. there are plenty of insurance companies out there who are like, we'll take every auto insurance policy we can get. We love auto insurance, but please don't give us your home insurance. They've realized they've made a bad bet, and there are still companies out there who are like, we don't want home insurance right now. We're focused on profitability, so we're happy with the customers we have. So that adds to it. That adds to how tough it is. And we also live, in this part of the country where there's houses that are over 150 years old, and there's a lot of them in neighborhoods, and insurance companies are like, yeah, we don't want that anymore. So you get this great house that somebody's flipped and done a nice job on, but the insurance company still says, I don't care that you put a new roof, new HVAC, new electric, new plumbing. It's still 150 years old. So no, we're not taking it.
Wow. Dave, tell them where they can find you. Give them your information.
David Tomlin at goosehead.com. That's the easiest way to get in touch with me. I'll have a conversation. That's the best thing that I can tell you right now is if you're unhappy with your insurance, have a 15-minute conversation. You may find out at the end of the day that you got the best deal in the world, or like somebody, you're saving $3,000 compared to what you're paying last year after you talk to me.
And Dave taught me the word hard stop, and I still use it to this day. You're the man.
All right, gentlemen. Congratulations again. And Dan, enjoy your conference.
Thank you, buddy. See ya. I love that guy. That guy's as professional and as nice and as learned. No bullshit. He's a great guy to deal with because he's not that salesy guy, and he's really, really good. And he's done some great things for my friends and for people I've known in the real estate business and all. It's been a good relationship with us. I think we have a very special guest coming up here from the wrestling world. Here he is. There he is.
There I am. Hey, Dan, congratulations. Third year anniversary. That's pretty cool.
Thank you, buddy. And
Bay said it wouldn't last more than a week.
Listen, I didn't either. And no, I was at every single one of your wrestling events from almost day one there, buddy. I was in that audience constantly.
Well, I
and enjoying every minute of it.
And I hope you're coming to the May 3rd card because we'd love to have you there.
Bay has shunned me on the May 3rd card. I get no invite from Bay, nothing.
Well, being that I'm the promoter, you're getting an invite from me.
I want a good seat too. Bay, I'll pay for my ticket, but make sure I got a good seat.
Well, how about this? If you want, I saved you a front row seat if you want it. Okay, it's going to cost you, but I saved you a front row seat, and I saved it specifically for the guy who won the 2024 some award, some sales award, next house, whatever the hell it was. You won it, so you got the front row seat if you want it.
Thank you. I'm there. I'll bring my son, but I'll put him in the back.
Well, I got 2 front rows if you want 2 front rows.
We're there. You know what? My son will love it because he doesn't know what it was like back in the old school days when you were there.
He'll learn it on May 3rd for sure.
I told him when we go by the old Civic Center where it used to be located,
the parking lot.
I explained to him the buildings. I explained to him how we used to watch wrestling at the old convention center side, and told him about Terry Funk and Mankind and everybody that used to be a part of that. It was, for me, I still remember that. And for people to hold those memories of how riveting and exciting those shows were, and it was that intimate crowd that was really a wrestling crowd.
Well,
the energy like you bring, it was so much fun.
I'll take it one better. We started at Temple University's McGonigal Hall. That's gone. We went to the Philadelphia Civic Center. That's gone. We did shows at the original sports bar. That's gone. One and done. This is going to be one show at the 2300 Arena. It's the last show I've ever done, will ever do. I started back in the 80s. I'm ending it in 2025. This is one and done, and I'm going to have one night of old-fashioned, old-school wrestling. I'm going to have an afternoon with a lot of the superstars of yesteryear, including Ric Flair. Ric Flair will be in attendance for WrestleCon. Plus, we've got Rock and Roll Express at both of the ends. We got Sabu. We got Sandman. I can bore you to death. I know I've only got 10 or 15 minutes here, Dan. I want you at the show on May 3rd.
I'm there.
Okay? I want your son to be there. Okay?
Tell Bay he better save me my seats.
Hey, Hub, get on an airplane, Hub, and just get your ass up here.
I don't know. We might scare the shit out of Hub. I'm going to bring an old toilet seat with me. We'll be old school over there that day.
We got to teach him something, you know?
The excitement from Bay, it seems like the excitement's building for the event, especially with us, all of our old school crowd.
It's definitely building. And Dan, I don't know if you've seen the trailers. Ryan from ECWA has been putting the documentary together and making these amazing trailers for the shows. I mean, the emotion that is there from Joel, myself, the locker room, everybody involved. This is going to be from we open our eyes on May 3rd until we close our eyes on May 4th, early that morning. It's going to be a lot of emotions going through that day, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of fun.
Breaker's going to be there. There's going to be some great people there. Joel, kind of go through again some of the people that are going to be there. I know Breaker Morant is going to be there. Kind of give us a little bit for the.
Here's a book. You want it all?
Yeah, give it to us with high energy there, Joel. Okay. Tell us who's going to be there.
All right, first of all, we got 8 matches. And included in the matches, so I'll give you all the people at the matches are going to be at WrestleCon. I won't give you all the names because I won't bore you to death. We got Tony Stetson's going to be there. Johnny Hotbody is going to be there. Okay, we got Sandman is going to be at the WrestleCon. Sabu's going to be at the WrestleCon. I've got the Rock and Roll Express at both events. I got Ric Flair at the WrestleCon. I got the Memphis Mafia, who's Tommy Rich, a former NWA champion, okay, along with Doug Gilbert. He's going to be there. Shane Douglas is going to be there. He's a former NWA champion, although there's a story there, okay? We've got, I'm going down. Tessa Blanchard is going to be, quite frankly, she may very well be the best wrestler on this entire card. And that's Tully Blanchard's daughter. She is phenomenal. She's flying in on a red eye to get to our event. Breaker Morant, as you said, is going to be going up against Chris Wilde. One of those guys is going to retire the TWA champion. Breaker Morant was the longest reigning champion. Chris Wilde was the second longest reigning. And those two are going to get together in what's going to be a phenomenal match. It's going to be a phenomenal. Dan, even you're going to like it.
Hey, Chris Wilde's a great wrestler, as we all know. We know Breaker's talent and his strength and his agility for being a big man. But Chris Wilde, I've seen him live. In fact, on Breaker's card, did we lose him, Bay?
Yeah, we lost him. I'm sure he'll pop back on.
Yeah, he's got great energy, and it's fun for us old school wrestling guys. His promotion was the start of the whole ECW thing. You know, it really was, wasn't it, Bay? Like, that was the start of the Philadelphia.
It was. I mean, what Joel did in a short amount of time really turned the wrestling world upside down. And, I mean, he was the it company, the it promoter.
People realize? I don't think people realize. I don't.
You know what? Some do, but some don't. The true, Philadelphia hardcore fans know the legend of Joel, but that new era of fan that just hears the legend of ECW, they have no clue that everything happened because of Joel.
Joel, when you cut off, we said nice things about you. Now we say mean things about you. But Bay and I were saying how you changed the industry, and I don't know that people respect or understand, especially in the Philadelphia region, how you changed things and what you brought to the table at that time. I mean, it was huge. I certainly respect it.
Yeah, it's huge in hindsight. I didn't realize it at the time. And I would be lying if I thought I did. I will tell you, we brought the Attitude Era to Philadelphia and therefore brought it to the nation. And, we have a slogan. I'm writing a book, and the title of the book is We Wrestled, We Brawled, and We Started It All. And that's the news. We started it all.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you like ECW, there was no ECW without the TWA. None at all.
That's what, when you cut out, it's exactly what I said. Without you, there's no ECW. There's not. I mean, and we know it because I was there. Like, I was a part of it as a fan.
Dan, now think about this one. And this is what messes my whole career up. If it wasn't for me, we wouldn't have had Chubby Dudley.
Look at that.
Okay? See? So
what would he be?
I apologize immensely for that.
You owe it all to Joe.
You should have let me quit. You should have let me quit.
And Joe, I had to have you on to give me tickets to the show, and he didn't even get me tickets to the show.
Well, look, let's be honest about Chubby Dudley, okay?
He's cheap.
He's a pain in the ass. And can I say this publicly?
Yes.
He's an asshole.
Yes. Only if you're friends with him, we can use him to our advantage, though, right?
Hey, we use him because he's actually a good guy. I have fun with him, but he is a true pain in the ass. He is a hemorrhoid. He is definitely a hemorrhoid.
And he appreciates the nostalgia of it. Joel, tell everybody again the date of the event, where they can get the tickets. They can see me in the front row. Maybe I'll wear a big hat like the old hat guy for nostalgia purposes.
All right. Anyway, it's Saturday, May 3rd. It's going to be all afternoon from 12 to 3:30. Will be the WrestleCon, as we call it. Then there'll be a break for everybody to grab some dinner in South Philly. And then from 6:30, the doors open. The doors open at 6. The matches start at 7:30. They'll go as long as they go. You need tickets for both the WrestleCon and for the matches. If you buy a ticket to the matches, you can then come to the after party, which is a whole nother story. So if you want to make a full day and night of it, you want to come to those. And you can go to the tickets. You go to 2300arena.com.
Great. Joel, thank you. I'll see you on the 3rd. Thanks for coming on for the anniversary show.
Appreciate it, and thanks and congratulations again.
I might see him the 3rd. Well, who knows?
Great seeing you.
Take care.
See you, Joel.
See you, Joel.
Take
care. The star of the night, the guy that broke the bank as far as the number of views on a podcast for the closing table.
He came to give us blessing.
Look at him. He's the number 1 ranked in the terms of viewership on the Closing Table podcast, Delco Jesus. I'm botching the introduction. Thank you. We saved the best for last. Thanks for coming on.
What's going on, guys? How you doing tonight?
Great. Appreciate you coming on. And like I said, when you came on, we were well over 1,000 views on that show. So everybody loves Delco Jesus.
Well, thank you. That's awesome.
I was expecting you to be like at a trash can outside of Wawa.
Right.
But
they shoo me away if I stick around too long.
People say he's so nice. He was so well spoken on the podcast. So I guess they thought when you come on, you were going to be more Delco-y, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm just so used to. I've been doing podcasting for so long that when I do things like this, I'm a lot more well spoken. But in my normal life, I get yelled at all the time, especially by my wife, about how Delco I sound. Everything I say, she says sounds extremely Delco.
That's me too. It's all right. It's not a bad thing. I tell my wife it's not a bad thing.
Exactly.
So last time you joined us, I got a couple questions. I'll let the guys jump in and we'll close up here because we've been going an hour and a half here. You were getting into some new podcast stuff. You were going to start up a new podcast. How are all those ventures going for you on that side of things?
So the last time I was on, I was in the process of setting it up, and then I guess that was, when was I on? Like July-ish, I guess, August, somewhere around.
You were actually going back to work, right? It was just before you went back to work from your injury.
Yeah. So that kind of pushed everything off for a bit. So I've been working with, it's funny, it's like the third thing they've been doing. It's a page called No Fly Zone. Buddy of mine runs it. They've gotten really big. They actually do tailgating parties at like Eagles games. They also do a lot of other events, especially at like away games. During the Super Bowl, they did like a block party. They have this giant like mega bus that you can go on during the tailgates. So I'm working with them. We're trying to set up a podcast. We'll probably do it during the off season, probably the next couple months. We might be doing something for the Philly season. We're still trying to figure that out. So I'm hoping to finally, now that I'm back fully, I've been able to speak full sentences correctly for the last month and a half now. So there was a point there where I really did not know what I was doing for a while. I would talk, or I would walk from one room to the other and completely forget what I was doing. So I'm back finally working my normal job. So I'm hoping to get back into like podcasts and stuff. The other thing I've been trying to get back into, which I did years ago and not for long, it was very short lived. Right before COVID, I had a buddy that had been doing stand up for a while, and he was kind of going through a little bit of a depressive phase. So I promised him I would start doing stand up with him. This is one of my cats. If he went out to do an open mic, and we went out and doing an open mic, he started doing it again. Unfortunately, didn't last long for him, but I've actually been talking to a couple people about trying to get back and doing open mics and stuff like that. Trying to get out of the house. I've been cooped up for far too long.
I got a question about the day job, you're in the tire business, correct?
Yeah. I run a Tires Plus up in Westchester.
So just like my field, the competitiveness of the tires is off the hook. So
it's crazy.
Tell us about like people going on, myself included at times, Amazon, just buying the tires and then going to the local mechanic and getting them installed. Now, I know there's all kinds of quality things with tires and all that stuff, but for you guys to be successful, and you got another tire store right near you down there, if I'm not mistaken, close to you down there in Westchester.
So when I started there, which was like October of 2023, there was actually four stores on a 3-block stretch of Gay Street, which was AAA, Pep Boys, Tires, etc.
And AAA's gone.
AAA closed in April.
Why do you think that happened?
I was
a little surprised at that.
So it was a mix of things. I know there was like their sales were down a little bit. Again, it's a very competitive street, so it's hard for people to really succeed on that street because the amount of competitiveness, and just people know that if they don't like someone's price, they can just walk to another store.
Right. So how do you stay
they got
competitive?
quoted. One, price matching as much as possible if I can, but also, there's a lot of things we do that I know some other companies don't do. Again, I'm not sure the specifics on all of them. One thing that I really like about my company, so when you buy tires, I always recommend buy road hazard on it because you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. Road hazard, if you get a flat, we fix them for free. If you blow the tire out and it's non-fixable, then you get it prorated based on tread life. So the thicker the tread, the cheaper the tire. First few months, they end up being like free. So it's big. But with all-wheel drive vehicles, one thing that I stress to people all the time, if your tires, most tires, all season touring tires, anything like that, they usually start at like 10-30 seconds of an inch is the tread depth they start at. So if you have tires like that are like 7 or below 30 seconds, you got to replace all 4 if it's all-wheel drive. That little bit of a difference, if you're doing 3,000-4,000 revolutions per minute, that little bit of a difference triggers so many problems within the computer system that it can blow the differential, can blow the transmission. So it's like a thing that like you have to know with our road hazard that I know some other companies don't do. We don't just road hazard out that one tire and then make you buy the other 3. We'll road hazard out every single tire based on a tread's life. So there's times people come in and like Subaru's the best/worst. They have one of the best all-wheel drives out of any vehicle because it's the most sensitive. It's the most like perfect all-wheel drive.
I think it's the best.
Yeah, it's huge. And they have a 0 tolerance policy. So technically, even just 1/32 of a difference, you should not be just throwing one tire on there. You want to do all 4. So with our road hazard, I'd be warned. I've done it before where someone got tires from me 6 months later, they're down to an 8. Just because they did a lot of driving, had to replace all 4, but the road hazard took care of it.
That's fantastic.
So,
one more quick question.
So that's a big thing. Our warranties.
Do people listen or no? They.
A lot of people do. It's one of those things where some people they always think it's a scam. So I try to do my best to let people know. Like I got into this business because car stuff, anything dealing with cars. was always the thing that I felt like held me back. Like every year I was spending like $2,500, $3,000 on my inspections, that I didn't have that money. So it was always putting me behind. So I was like, when this opportunity arose for me to kind of get in this industry, I was like, oh, that's great. Like I'll have the same kind of money I'm making now, but I'm going to save so much money on the back end with all the discounts, which is huge. Like the discounting is insane, the amount of money I save. So it's one of those things that I let people know, like, this isn't me coming from, like, I'm just trying to scam you. Like, I'm trying to do what's going to save you down the road.
Right.
That's awesome. Any questions for Delco Jesus?
I want to know, when I come into town, are we going to Dolan's for a beer?
Oh, we are definitely doing the Dolan's
I'm in
and
on
we're getting
that.
some garage beers.
I'm in on that.
Yeah, we got it going on Monday night now. PSG, Philly Sports Guy, is doing spaghetti nights on Mondays now.
I'm in on that. Are you in on Monday, Bay, or no?
It's looking like I'll probably be in on Thursday and out Sunday morning.
So if Delco Jesus go out on Monday, we'll FaceTime you and we'll leave you on the bar.
There you go.
Well, when you come, we'll still go. What day? What's the dates? The third is.
Third is.
So you're not going to be there Monday.
No,
you're going to have to reschedule that. Because you know what Monday is.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo, which is the busiest day of the year for my job.
Well, that's also my birthday. Oh man!
Look at that! Look at
you
that!
Tell me to hang out with Jesus on his birthday.
Oh.
Hey, Hub, we're going to bring you up, and you can virtually join us from Dallas, Texas.
Right.
See,
that'd be great. I love it.
Hub needs to really come and visit Delco and get the true experience.
Yeah, we got.
He really does.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
We'll get you to Wawa, and Delco Jesus will walk you through. You can eat on the trash can out in front of Wawa.
Well, you know that after the episode with Chris, I was talking with him on Messenger, and Chris said, "So when did you leave Delco?" He thought I was from Delco.
Listen,
you fit in already.
When you come, we'll have a hot dog and a coffee on top of a trash can out inside of Wawa.
Exactly.
We'll break it in.
There's exciting news here. About a mile and a half down the road from me, big piece of property. 2 weeks ago, they put the sign up. Wawa. It's coming soon.
Oh, yes. I've been hearing about that. I've been hearing they're moving down there.
They're going in Tennessee. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah,
it's going to be great.
They're taking over. Yeah, they're taking over.
They were smart because they only went to a couple states around them, and then they skipped everything and went to Florida, which is just Delco South.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Real quick, I got to call my accountant. That's my accountant that just called me. You know what I'm noticing that's closing? I think Wawa's pushing them out. Is the Swiss Farms, the drive-through locations. The one in Media closed. I mean,
yeah, they so Swiss Farms as a company technically in a sense doesn't exist anymore. It seems like I don't know all the ins and outs, but they sold to another company out of Arizona that literally does the exact same thing as them called Farm Fresh. So they never rebranded the Swiss Farms, but Swiss Farms owns the one up in Westchester or West Goshen, I guess it is. There's one up there. Yeah. They converted that to a Farms Fresh, and I think there used to be one in Norristown, but I think the one in Norristown was more set up. They had a plan originally where they were going to start buying up old age pluses, and they were going to do a gas station theme just like Wawa, except you could drive through and then get gas. But I don't know whatever happened with that. Yeah, but it seems like Swiss Farms itself sold to Farm Fresh.
Some interesting changes in that segment. Delco Jesus, tell everybody where they can follow you on social media and tell them where if they need tires, they have to go.
Right. So Delco Jesus on Facebook, at Delco Jesus on Instagram and Threads. I don't think I have a Twitter. And then for tires or any of your car needs, we do everything. Would be Tires Plus in Westchester, 500 East Gay Street. We're the best.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you joining the podcast.
You're the man.
Anytime. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you soon, bro.
Yes.
All righty.
One quick thing here. I got to call my accountant here. We've been on 138, and this was awesome, and you did an unbelievable job managing this thing and managing the time and getting everybody on. Hub, I appreciate you joining us. It's been 3 years. Hopefully, we're doing some good, and we're meeting some people and having some fun and growing our businesses. There we go.
And I think Dan froze. Oh,
there we go. Yeah,
okay.
So we're losing everybody. All right. Yeah, we're zotching out here. Bay, thank you again, and we will see everybody next month. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Everybody, NextHome, Brandywine.com. Tons of listings coming and much, much more. Get ready. We'll be back next month with another amazing guest. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you.